Hi, I'm Steve Sapato, and you're listening to The Happiness Agenda. And every day I think I'm excited, but today I'm even more excited. It's just one of those days where you say, man, I have so much energy and so much to do. But it's also the fact that only in 2 days I actually get to head home for an extended stay. I've been on the road for about 5 months, and hotel rooms are starting to get really old, and the travel is just beating me up a little bit. But you know what's good about that is I get to talk and I get to listen to so many people from so many other areas, and I learn and I grow and I become someone who's different than I was a few months ago. When we talk about the happiness agenda, one of the things I just always ask people is, what makes you happy? Right? What makes you happy? I don't know. And I hope you're excited about every day like I'm excited about every day. I do always have my cheat sheet and my notes. So I just want you to understand that I almost never speak without notes unless it's an off-the-cuff impromptu. You know, when I'm asked to go speak on stage, sometimes I get a broad topic and I get to go out and just have fun, relate to the audience, and tell stories and jokes. But sometimes I have to be more focused, and I tell everybody that I teach, because I do train people how to be better public speakers. I train them how to use their notes, how to be effective with their notes, when and when not to use their notes, and how they need to interact with all the people that they're going to be speaking to. But today, when I'm talking to you about happiness, I was just posting a picture, and that picture said, "Please pay before existing." You ever see those big signs up there as you're driving through the parking ramp? And it says, it was supposed to say, "Please pay before exiting," but it said, "Please pay before existing." And I always go, that's interesting. How many of us are just existing? Right? We live our lives day to day. We go about our business day to day, but we're not really excited about what we're doing. We're not really excited about our life and where we're heading. And my question always is, why? Why aren't you excited? Let's talk about what excites you. When we talk about different things, one of the things I tell people all the time when I get into my stories is, I tell the story of when I got to Atlanta. And I got this wonderful, this was 5-6 years ago, and I got this wonderful schedule, which was, I worked 8 days in a row, and then I got 6 days off. And some of my coworkers would come to me and say, "Oh my gosh, you have the perfect schedule." And when I know it's great, it's like a vacation every 2 weeks. And they go, "Yeah, if I had your schedule, I'd be down at the airport waiting every day for the next plane to go out." I went, "Really?" They went, "Yeah." I said, "Where would you go?" They said, "It doesn't matter. Whatever the next plane leaving is, I'd be on that plane." I went, "Wow." And then I would list, "So you can go kayaking?" They go, "Yeah." I said, "So you can play sand volleyball?" They went, "Yeah." I said, "You can go paragliding?" They go, "Yeah." I said, "You could go trout fishing?" "Of course," right? "You could go to this wonderful clear stream, lay on the rocks, and just enjoy the day." They all went, "Yes." I went, "I do that right here in Atlanta." And they went, "What?" I went, "Absolutely. That's my last 6 weekends here in Atlanta." And they were like, "Where do you do that?" Now, I wasn't from Atlanta, so what I did was I had gotten the Atlanta tourist guide, and I was reading through the tourist guide and said, what would I like to do? And that's what happens in our lives, isn't it? We stagnate, we get stuck, because I had people there who said, "I just want to find a new job, Steve. I want to be like you, and I want to travel, I want to do that." And I went, and it's not all it's cut out to be if you aren't ready to travel. They said they were. I went, okay. And then they would say, "Well, where do you do all this stuff here in Atlanta?" And I'd go, "You know, if you're bored with Atlanta, you're bored everywhere you go." Boredom is not something we find. Boredom is something that we are. And that's one of the challenges we face, isn't it? Who are you? What do you do? How do you have fun? Right? I get excited about what I do every day because I get to do the happiness agenda. And I get to talk to wonderful people about wonderful things that they've done in their lives. Yes, we talk about the challenges, we talk about where they came from and how they got to the success in their life and the happiness in their life that they're currently enjoying. And that's what we all get to talk about. We've all had our struggles. We've all had our tough times. And that, my friends, is how we find our happiness, by going through the tough times, finding what makes us happy. It isn't always having $1 zillion, right? So I can go this place and buy these things and travel to this area. It's all about finding what makes you happy right here, right now. So the question is, what's making you happy, right? What goals have you set that you're accomplishing every day? I get to do webinars, and I get to do podcasts, and I get to go to networking events and help other people discover what's going to help make them more successful. And when I help other people, it helps me, because then when they come back to me and say, wow, Steve, I really appreciated your advice. I really appreciated your input. Wow, Steve, I love your coaching. You're really helping my business as we move along. And I do that with relationships too, where people say, we're stuck, Steve. As a couple, we're stuck. We know we love each other, but we're just not happy at this point in time. Well, then we get together and we talk about it. And they hire me to help them build a relationship that will always be exciting, fulfilling, and moving to them. So it doesn't have to always be passionate. It can be friendship on fire. Have you ever gone someplace with a great friend and just had a great time? Excuse me. And when you had that great time, you went, man, that was a great day. I just did that with a friend. I actually ended up going to a cabin, and he calls it a cabin. I call it a really nice house. But a cabin that he had, and we just spent a single day going out on his pontoon boat and fishing and enjoying the day. And it was a really nice day, and when I got back, I sent him this nice little note that said, hey, I really appreciate you. And if everybody would do that for their friends, and if everybody would do that for their spouses or their partners, think how that would change our lives. Hey, I really appreciate you doing this for me today, right? Those are the things that we get to talk about when we talk about what makes you happy. So I'm going to talk about it again, what makes you happy. I'm going to look at my note and say, oh, I know. One of the things we have to worry about is what we know about our lives. See, most of us say, well, this is my life. This is where I'm at. And I go, is this where you want to be? And so many people say, no, it's not. A study came out recently that said something like 67 or 70% of all the people are not fulfilled by their jobs. When I taught college, I taught for 7 years, and when I taught the students, some of the things they said is, I said, where would you go? Where are you going to go after you graduate? And they would say, any place but here. I go, why not here? And they go, oh, this is boring, it's this, it's that. And of course, we already talked about boring is as boring does, right? But I said, so how did you end up here? They said, well, Mom and Dad came here and now they're stuck here forever. I went, what do you mean they're stuck? And they would tell me about how they got into these jobs and they can't leave their job. And I go, why not? And they go, well, because they can. It's not possible. I go, what do you mean it's not possible to leave your job? Because see, I've had 38 different full-time jobs. 38, right? Most of them were my own. I created my own. I got a business. I started a company. I own a restaurant. I own a nightclub. You name it, we've done it, right? But I asked them, why can't their parents get out? And they said, because they're locked into their retirement. If they leave now, they won't get that. They won't get this. They won't have that. They won't be able to do this. You see, we make our own traps. We make our own situations. And if you believe yourself to be stuck, then you're stuck. I was talking to someone recently. Fascinating story of how he managed to move forward in his life. And when he was in a place, matter of fact, you might know him. His name is Spike O'Dell. He's an award-winning DJ off of WGN. He only retired a few years ago. And he was telling the story that he had this wonderful shop job back where we live. And we're both from East Moline, Illinois, home of John Deere, J.I. Case, International Harvester, you name it, over the years, many manufacturing companies, which of course most of you know have long since disappeared. But he had this great job, according to everybody else around him, great job. And he said he was making $25,000 a year when he decided to move into radio. Right? Now, you can tell that was a little while ago, but still, it was a great job at the time. And everybody said, how could you quit this job? How could you quit? How could you possibly? Look at all you're going to be losing. You're going to lose your retirement. You're going to lose this. You're going to lose that. And Spike went on to absolute wonderful fame and fortune. He went stepping stone from this radio station to that radio station to this before he ended up at WGN. I can't tell you how much money he made, but I will tell you this. The guy will never worry about money for the rest of his life, and neither will his family. You know, and so everybody else in that area would have said, don't leave, you have so much here. And yet he saw his dream over here, and he went for his dream, he went for his passion, and it proved out in his life to be absolutely not only rewarding to him inside, but rewarding to those around him also, because he brightened people's lives. Are you brightening people's lives today? Are you making a difference? What is it? How's that saying go? You make people happy simply by walking out of the room. Are you one of those people? Hey, we're glad to see you go. Thanks for stopping by. So you have to understand that there are reasons that we do the things we do. And one of the things that I'm going to talk to you about, right, of course, is do you have goals set in your life? Everybody talks about them. We know we should have them. Matter of fact, when you go to the grocery store, you put down a list of things that you're going to get at the grocery store. Those are goals. I want to get these things. But have you done that for your life, and do you have them written down? I want you to understand the importance of writing down your goals. I want you to understand the importance of going after those dreams and goals. That's one of the challenges we face, is that we don't necessarily pursue our dreams and goals, and sometimes we quit. It's like, man, that was too hard. Man, I'm catching too much grief. Too many people are in the way. I'm not making this. I'm not doing that. I can't. And just so you understand, yes, you can. You see, one of the things I've been able to do is I put together my podcasts, I put together my coaching, I put together all of my blogs. If you aren't watching my blogs or following my podcast, certainly go to stevesapato.com/podcast and subscribe so that you can get part of the happiness agenda also. And if you'll look on my website, mentalprosperityblog.com, you'll see a lot about management. You want to be a great manager? Most people think they're great managers. Go read my blogs and see if every single time you qualify as a great manager. And maybe once upon a time you did, and then you've forgotten, you've fallen away from these habits and practices. But so many people have never been trained to become a manager of people. You see, it's our people skills that will help us succeed. It's your ability to relate to, it's ability to help, it's your ability to communicate with the people around you that will make them happier, and when they're happier, they look out after you too. So tune in to mentalprosperityblog.com and find my blog there, or stevesapato.com and find my podcasts there. What you're going to find, I'm also on LinkedIn, of course, Facebook. But that way, you'll be in touch all the time. I'm also coming out with Learn to Win, School of Success, which teaches you all about how to be more successful, and of course, Learn to Love, success in relationships. So if you're looking for a better relationship, more love, or finding that love of your life, certainly you'll need to join with me on those courses as they come out here in this coming July. So what I want you to understand is, as we move forward, as we move from this place you are today, what excites you? Oh my gosh, right? There's so much to be excited about. There's so much joy in the world. There's so much happiness. Don't surround yourself with the news. Don't surround yourself with all the negative that's going on and everything happening in our daily lives by subscribing to the newspaper or listening to the radio, except great music, of course, right? And that's why you might want to Sirius or XM radio, where you get to choose your own radio. I like to choose comedy. I love to laugh, so that's what we do. But you choose your own. Have you chosen that for your life? Do you have a direction you're going? Have you written it down? Are you checking them off as you go to make yourself happier? Because one of the things that makes us happy is succeeding, right? Being able to say, I did this. If we look at our day, sometimes if we haven't written down our day, sometimes at the end of the day we go, I don't think I did anything. Wow. I know I did lots, but it doesn't feel like I did any accomplishments. If you went back and wrote down everything you accomplished, you'd say, wow, look at all the stuff I did. Isn't that the truth? Isn't that what you need to do? Is to help yourself by accomplishing, and help the people around you by being a better person, by being a better leader, by being a better manager, by being a better parent, by being a better husband or wife. And when you do that, guess what's going to follow? Oh, happiness. That's right. Yeah. Okay, this is the abbreviated form of the happiness agenda. I hope you're having an amazing day. I hope you're blessed in every area of your life. But remember, we grow and we keep growing by the things we listen to, by the things that we read, and by the people we associate with. And guess what? If you subscribe to my blog posts, right, you'll get to read great and positive things. If you subscribe to my podcast, stevesapato.com/podcast, right, then you'll get to hear wonderful things. And if you join my courses on Learn to Win and Learn to Love, then you'll also be surrounding yourself every week with good information that will help you become the person that you've always wanted to be. I'm Steve Sapato, and this is the Happiness Agenda. And my gosh, I hope you're having a great day. Afterward, go for it. Do it. Are you still here? It's over. Yeah, click off. Go.